Tom Cruise, it's undeniable his charisma and his longevity. The fact he's been a movie star for almost 40 years is awfully impressive, but he is a horrific human being. When I saw your tweets and you and your dad saw Top Gun at preview screening and Tom Cruise rocks, I almost had to say delete your account, Ben. This guy, and if there's one person out there, this is all I do. Every single time I go on these screens against Cruise, if I change one person's mind and go watch Going Clear, the case against Scientology, that's a brilliant documentary by Alex Gibney, and it changed my life. Prior to seeing that documentary, if you asked me about Tom Cruise, I would have said, I think he's a little overrated, but hey, I love Magnolia. He worked with Scorsese in Color of Money. He certainly had a great career. I think he's an overrated actor, but yes, he's a movie star. I watched that documentary. I said, listen, you cannot separate fact from fiction. This guy is a reprehensible human being, and that documentary by Gibney is incredible. And God bless Leah Remini, who when Top Gun, everyone's tweeting about it, oh, what a great film. She goes, hey, don't forget what Tom Cruise stands for. And this is why he is vile, because Scientology abuses people. They treat people horribly, and when you try to leave, they cause irreparable damage to your life. And you say, what's that to do with Tom Cruise? He's just a member of Scientology. He doesn't run the thing. And I say, come on. David Miscavige runs it. Tom Cruise is his right-hand man. If Cruise came out once, Ben, and said, hey, listen, you guys got to knock this off. Stop treating people so poorly if they don't want to be Scientologists. Allow them to leave. You should be able to leave any religion you want. And that's not a religion. It's a cult anyways. But instead, this behavior exists. And watch 1 hour and 50 minutes of Going Clear. The great Paul Haggis. You always defend the fact that Crash won Best Picture, even though I think it was a joke and Brokeback Mountain should have won. But Haggis is brilliant. He's Canadian. He wrote $1 Million Baby. He's a former Scientologist, and he's amazing in that documentary. He talks about the horrible things these people do. And the fact that Cruise turns a blind eye to it, I can't turn a blind eye to it. And normally you and I can watch films, and we can separate who these people are. Yes, they can be adulterers. Yes, they're drug addicts. Yes, they're not perfect people. But what Cruise stands for to me is beyond vile. And that's why I watched Top Gun 2, and I'll tell you right now, it's a perfectly adequate movie. Okay, this Best Picture talk is nonsense. It is melodramatic, it's predictable, and I get that it's fun. You want to go enjoy the film, by all means. But please go watch Going Clear and make my day and see what this guy stands for.
Adnan Virk joining the show, fired up.
Wow,
I appreciate
Adnan.
you so much, Adnan. I really do. You put the big picture in perspective. And, you know, this is a question that we have to ask ourselves across the way we consume art, the way we watch sports, the way the people we vote for in politics. There's so much of this stuff that gets blurred. And I understand. You even mentioned Paul Haggis. Paul Haggis is not, you know, necessarily the best person to mention in that defense of your argument as well right now.
You're right. He's not immune either. He's faced issues with regards to sexual assault. And people say, listen, well, how do you pick and choose? Well, you have to look at each person and each egregious violation. Ben, as you know, I love Broadway. I took my wife to see Beetlejuice on her birthday. I was appalled that MJ the Musical is still happening. I'm like, are you kidding me? Speaking of documentaries, go watch Finding Neverland and see what Michael Jackson did. I can't believe anybody could sit and watch a Woody Allen movie. You, me, and your father know how funny he is. We know how brilliant he is as an auteur. But if you watch and learn anything that Woody Allen's done, you go, how could you possibly support this guy's work? So, again, that doesn't mean you castigate every single person in Hollywood, but I do think you have to make that personal choice and say, all right, what can I stand with? What can I separate between art and art for its sake? And certainly for a few people at least, I can't take it.